Hey guys, I'm Steff and welcome back to my beauty stash. Today I am going to be creating 3 looks with the new Profusion Marigold eyeshadow palette. This is a 35 pan eyeshadow palette that retails for $13. I picked my palette up in store at Walmart, and let me just tell you really quick. So I saw this advertised on the Profusion Instagram and I thought, you know what? That looks like a nice palette. Kind of like a cross between the new ColourPop It's a Mood palette and the bPerfect and Stacie Marie MUA Carnival 4 palette. This is a much more affordable palette than those 2 palettes, so I thought, you know what? Let me check to see if my local Walmart has it. That way I can pick it up and review it for you guys. So I searched online for this palette on Tuesday to see which of my local Walmarts had it. And then on Wednesday, I was gonna place my order that morning and then just go pick it up after work. Well, when I went to do that on Wednesday morning, it was sold out. It was sold out online. So I couldn't even search to see which stores still had it in stock. So after work, I took a chance. I drove to one of them and I had to do some digging to find this palette. That Profusion section definitely needed some attention because this was buried behind a whole bunch of other randomly placed palettes. But I got it, it's here, it's mine, and it was only 13 bucks. So you do get matte shimmer and pressed glitters in this palette. There are 5 pressed glitters. So I don't know how I feel about 5. I can deal with 2 or 3, but anything over 3 is a bit much, but at least it's a 35 pan eyeshadow palette. Now, I have already swatched this, so I'll most definitely insert those swatches before I begin the 3 look tutorial, but I thought this was a really nice color story. It's a little bit of spring going into fall. I mean, I would use these shades all year round, but you definitely get the fall vibes right here while still having that fun pop of color. So I'm excited to dive into this. I do enjoy Profusion palettes. I think for the price, they are pretty decent, but let's see what kind of looks I can create with this. I will probably reserve the glitter for the 3rd and final look, just so that I don't have to worry about removing it and having glitter everywhere. I did swatch this palette this morning and I went to work with glitter like all over my arm. When I got there, I had to get some tape to take off of what was left, what wouldn't come off with the makeup wipe. I have been dealing with glitter on my arm all day. And guys, really quick, if you're wondering about the makeup that I currently have on, I am in the middle of a 2-day wear test with the new Beauty Blender Bounce Skin Tint. I have had this makeup on for a little over 12 hours now, and I did touch it up before I came on camera, but I'm also using the new Beauty Blender Bounce Cream Blush, and this is in the shade A Cheeky Pink. And I'm also using, I'm trying a whole bunch of new products today. I also picked up the One Size concealer. This is the Turn Up the Base Concealer. I bought this off of the recommendation of my friend Christy here on YouTube. Hi Christy, if you're watching, I will have her channel linked in the description box of this video. So please go check Christy out, send her some love, and tell her Steff sent you. And also in this video, I'm gonna be trying out the new Milk Hydro Grip Eye Primer. Now, I did apply this under my eye area this morning before I applied concealer, and I think it has really helped the concealer last all day. I had no issues with this. It felt really smooth, really like a velvet finish, but I'm gonna try applying it to my eyelids and let's see how it's going to work as an eyeshadow base. So lots of newness here in my stash. You guys will see this Beauty Blender Skin Tint review the day after this one goes up. So I believe this video is going up on a Saturday. You will see this video on Sunday morning. So let's dive into this new Profusion Marigold palette. If you want to see the 3 looks I create with this $13 eyeshadow palette, keep on watching. right, guys, let's start creating look number one. I do have mascara on already just because I've been, like I told you all earlier, wearing this makeup all day. So I usually don't apply mascara before I create my eye looks, but yeah, just wanted to mention that. So let's see, what do we want to do with this palette? Okay, you guys know I like the greens. I think we should start with a green shade since in the last video with the Carnival 4 palette, I saved the green shade for the last, but let's do something with the green. I love green. What can I say, guys? What can I say? Let's dive into, what shade should I do first? I'm thinking this shade first. Maybe we can do a little bit of yellow in the inner corner. Let's start first with this yellow shade and then we'll take it from there. And to apply that shade, I'm gonna go in with a Sigma E27. You know what we forgot to do? Apply the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Let's see, I'm gonna put some here. It's a clear primer. That's what I noticed this morning. It's not gonna conceal anything. So if you are used to a primer kind of just canceling out the shade that is on your eyelid, this is probably not gonna be the one you wanna get. And it feels like a really velvet smooth finish. To me, it doesn't feel as tacky as the Face Hydro Grip Primer. Like this one really feels like gel-like, and this one doesn't. So I'm gonna let that sit for like a minute and then I'm gonna go in and apply the first shade. All right, so let's start applying this. I'm gonna just be focusing that right here on the inner corner. This shadow is going over just fine on top of that Milk Primer, so we're off to a good start. All right, now I'm gonna go in with this green right here, and I'm using a BK Beauty 203. I'm just gonna focus that up here and also on the lid. Now I'm gonna go back in with some of the yellow shade. And back in with the green. I'm not really liking the way that green is looking. I don't know. Okay, let me move on to another shade. I'm gonna go in, let's see, I'm gonna go in with this darker green right here, same brush. I'm gonna focus that right here on the outer portion. Now I'm gonna take a Sigma E45 and I'm gonna pick up some of this green right here and just kind of use that to blend up here at the top. I'm gonna pick up some more of that dark green. Now I'm picking up some of the lightest green that I used right here. Yeah, I can't say that I'm really happy with the way this looks. Like, look at that right there. That's really patchy. Let me try, I'm gonna try this other brush. This is the first bad experience with a green shade that I think I've had in a very long time. Okay, so this darker green is saving it, but it's still not 100%. You go back in with some of the yellow. Okay, looks better, looks better. All right, now for the lower lash line. I think, let's see, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. And I'm taking that on a BK 207. This is a pretty mustard yellow. You can definitely see the difference between these two yellows. This is more of like a golden yellow. This I think is more of like a mustard yellow. Definitely nice fall shades though. I love a good, like a yellow this tone, especially this tone on the lower lash line for fall. Now to deepen up the lower lash line, I think I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna try this shade right here. And I'm just gonna kind of keep that really close to the lash line. And I'm gonna be using a rephr 03. Yeah, this is the perfect combination for this lower lash line. Now I'm kind of liking this matte look on the top lash line. I think I got it to blend good enough, but I don't know that I want to do an all matte eye. I know I did one in my last video with the Carnival 4 palette, but you know, this doesn't look too bad. And sometimes I think not everybody likes to wear shimmer. So this is, you know, a nice alternative, a nice option for those of you that don't want anything to do with shimmer. I just think it's a little bit different. I do want to do something on the inner corner, some type of shimmer. So I think I'm going to try this gold shade right here. And I'm going to use that same rephr 03. I'm just going to clean it and I am going to spray it. Ooh, that's pretty. Good call. Yeah, I think we can just leave it like this. What do you guys think? Okay, let me add some liner and touch up the mascara, and I'll be right back to show you look number 1. All right, guys, this is the first look using the Profusion Marigold palette. What do you guys think? I will say that I had originally applied this NYX Vivid Brights Green Liquid Liner. This one is in the shade Vivid Envy, but it wasn't the right shade of green. So I went over it with black liner and it didn't come out the smoothest. So if the eyeliner looks a little off, that's why. But other than that, I like this green and yellow combination. I'm glad I was able to save the green on the top. You guys know I don't really do a lot of all matte looks, but I like the combination of the yellow and green. I love those shades together. And this pop of gold on the inner corner, I think it's absolutely perfect. For mascara, guys, I'm going to be using this one. This is the one I have on. I've had it on all day. And this is the latest one from Essence. It is the I Love It Extreme Limited Crazy Volume Mascara. And for the lower waterline, I went in with NYX Epic Wear in the shade Cosmic Yellow. I like the way it came out, guys. I like the way it looks. Let's jump over to the left eye and start creating look number 2. So I think what I want to do for this second look is work with these shades on the bottom. And I think I'm going to start with this shade first and then probably go into this one. And I'm going to use a rephr 16 to apply the first shade. And I did already prime this eye. I did it right after I did this right eye. So it's definitely had time to set. Now there is some kick up in the pan with these shades, the mattes in particular. This shade seems to be blending out just fine. I don't see any patchiness with this one. It seems to be building up fairly well. No issues with that. Yeah, I like the way this is building up. It looks pretty good. All right, now I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. And I'm also gonna be working that in the crease. All right, this looks good. I like the blend that I'm getting from these two shades. Really pretty. Now I want to deepen it up a little bit, and I think I'm going to go into this shade right here. Same rephr 14. I'm going to be working that out here. This combination of like pink and orange, I think is very, very pretty. I want to go in with this shade next. Same brush. Now I'm going to go in with this shade right here, and I'm going to be applying that to the lid. And I'm taking that shade on a BK203. Okay, now I want to do a shimmer shade, and I think I'm going to go in with this shimmer shade on the inner portion of the lid. And I'm going to be using the rephr number 21 brush to apply, and I am going to spray it. Ooh, that's nice. I'm going to drag this in a bit as well. I'm going to add a little bit more of that magenta shade right in here. All right, now for the lower lash line, I think I'm going to go in with this shade and then deepen it up with maybe these two shades here. And I'm using a BK207. Now I'm going to use the rephr 03, and I'm going to go in with that deeper magenta shade. Keep that really close to the lash line. Now I think I'm going to go in, let's see. I'm going to take a little bit of this shade right here, and I'm going to use this for the inner corner highlight. All right, guys, I like this look. I like the way it turned out. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of that inner corner shimmer shade to the brow bone right here. Okay, let me add some liner, a little bit more mascara, and I'll be right back to show you all the completed look number 2. So this is look number 2 with the Marigold palette. What do you guys think? I added some of my favorite Wet n Wild liquid Breakup proof eyeliner to the top lash line. For the lower waterline, I went in with a ColourPop eyeliner. This one is in the shade Amethyst Hour. Some more mascara. And this is the look we got. I like it. I like the blend that I got on this one a bit more than I like the blend I got on this eye. I do love the green. I do love the yellow, but these shades were a little bit easier to work with versus the 2 green shades that kind of gave me a little bit of issues on this eye. But I do love the yellow on this side. Those are some of my favorite shades. So I think I'm gonna wipe off the green and yellow so we can start creating look number 3. So I will be right back. All right, let's start working on look number 3. I did reapply some of the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. All right, so let's see. We've done a green, we've done a pink, we've incorporated yellow. Let's see. I do want to use one of the pressed glitters. I mean, I'm really attracted to the green one, but let's see. What do I want to do? I think I'm going to go in. I'm going to start with this shade right here. Actually, no. Let me start with this shade. And then I'm going to work into these 2 shades as well. And I'm starting first with the rephr 16. All right, now I'm going to go in with a rephr 14 to that middle shade and just start building that into the crease as well. Same rephr 14, now I'm going in with that darker shade. Okay, so these shades are all blending into each other really well. All right, now what I want to do is I think I'm going to take some of this green shimmer shade and I'm going to put that on the lid. And I'm picking that up on a Morphe M124. Just spray it. And I think I'm going to put the glitter on top. I'm going to pick up some of that deeper brown shade and I'm just going to use that to blend right here. I think I'm going to take that shimmer shade in a little bit more. So now I'm gonna take a little bit of this NYX glitter glue. I'm gonna apply it right here. I'm not gonna take the glitter all the way into my inner corner. Just gonna keep it right here, like towards the middle. And I'm gonna use my finger. Ooh, that's pretty. That's festive. Ooh, I like that a lot. That's pretty. I do think this outer corner definitely needs to be deepened up. So I'm gonna try going in with this shade right here. And I'm taking that on a rephr 13. The shade that I'm using is the darkest one in the palette. As far as matte shades go, I actually think the green shimmer that I applied right before the glitter is probably the darkest, to be honest. But as far as matte goes, it's the one I'm using right now. And you really, guys, when you're working with glitter, you don't want to mess with the rest of the eye look, at least close to wherever you're putting the glitter, because you don't want it to fall. So like, I should have been doing this before I applied the glitter, but sometimes you just need to tweak things. See, it's getting a little patchy right there. I'm going to try switching up the brush. I'm going to use a rephr 26. I'm going to pick up some of that dark green. For the lower lash line, I'm going to go in with this green shade right here, and then I'm going to go in with the shimmer shade on top of it. I'm going to use the rephr 26. Okay, now I'm going to go in with the shimmer shade. I'm going to spray that rephr 26. Keeping that really close to the lashes. Ooh, I like the way that looks. Now I'm gonna go in, let's see, I think I'm gonna go in with this shade right here for the inner corner. And I'm taking that on a rephr 03 damp. That's pretty. I'm gonna bring that up a little bit. Perfect. Love it. Love it, love it. Not too crazy about this little section right here, but I'll see if I can fix it. Let me add, am I gonna add liner on the top lash line? I may or may not. Definitely need to add more mascara because that came off when I was removing the last eye look, and I'll do something in the lower waterline, and I'll be right back to show you guys the third and final look. All right, guys, I came back with two very sparkly looks. I just felt like I loved the way the glitter looked so much on this eye. I wanted to add it over here to this eye. And for this left eye, I used these two pressed glitters. And obviously for the right eye, I went in with the green one. I love the way this look came out. I love that pop of gold in the inner corner with the green. Again, yellow and green. I love that combination together. I do wish I had a deeper corner, outer corner shade. I think that would look a little bit better with both looks, to be honest. But, you know, this is what I was able to get with the shades in the palette. For the lower waterline, I went in with this one from ColourPop. Unfortunately, I think it is sold out at the moment. This is the shade Canopy. It was from the Lush Life collection, but I'll still have the trio of eyeliners linked in the description box in case you want to be added to the wait list for when it comes back in stock. Added some more mascara, and then I did not do any liquid liner on the top lash line. Usually when I have, if I know I'm going to be using some pressed glitter, I don't always do liner on the top lash line. Sometimes you don't need to, especially if you're going to go in with a falsie. The glitter in the falsie is definitely a look on its own. I already had the black liner on this eye, so I just put the glitter over it. But yeah, I'm glad, I'm happy. This glitter was really easy to work with, but definitely use that glitter glue when you're going to be working with these pressed glitters. I will say I didn't get any fallout from them, so that is aces. All right, guys, let me wrap up today's video and let me give you guys my final thoughts on this new Profusion Marigold eyeshadow palette. All right, guys, so let's talk about this Profusion Marigold palette. You get 35 shades. It retails for $13. You do get 5 pressed glitters, and the rest are a mixture of matte and shimmer shades. I think this is a nice fall color story with some bright pops of color in them, especially like with these magenta shades and the red shade in there, and then of course some of the yellows. I love yellow and green for fall. I mean all year round, but especially for fall. I will say that this palette, and you do get the shade names on the back as well. It says that it's good for 24 months after opening and that it's cruelty free. I will say that this palette, I think it's good for the price. I don't necessarily think it's the greatest at the drugstore though. I think I've definitely gotten some better blends with Wet n Wild, with e.l.f., with NYX. And I bought this palette just because it was an affordable fall palette that had just come out. And I wanted to compare it to these 2 other fall palettes that were also just released. And I wanted to see which of the 3 would be the best bang for your buck. And in looking at the 3, this is the ColourPop It's a Mood palette. I've created already 4 looks with this palette, and you can see this is definitely like a fall color story, but also you have a nice mixture of colorful shades in there. And the colorful shades are more deeper toned, which I like that, especially for the fall. This palette retails for $35, and in here you get 30 different shades. Now, let me quickly show you the bPerfect Carnival 4 Antidote palette. I just reviewed this palette. Again, green, yellows, you have a little bit of pink, berry toned, very warm toned eyeshadow palette. In this palette, you get 45 different shades, and this retails for about $56. It's like right under the $56 price point. This is in stock on the bPerfect Cosmetics website. bPerfect does have a warehouse where they ship from the US, but their home base is overseas. But if you're wanting this palette and you live in the US like I do, it most definitely can get shipped for you. And I want to say if you order over a certain amount, you do get free shipping. If not, the standard shipping I think is like $7, which not too bad. But this is a beautiful palette. This is a great performing palette, but it does retail for about $56. Now, going back to the ColourPop one, I liked working with this palette, and it's ColourPop. ColourPop is always affordable, and they always have a pretty decent formula. So looking at all 3 palettes, I would say price point, considering everything, pick up the ColourPop. Pick up the ColourPop palette, wait for a ColourPop sale. They always have 25% off site-wide or 30% off site-wide. I'm sure another one of those is coming really soon. Right now they have free international shipping on their website, so maybe you want to pick this up. And I think just by looking at like price, at quality, at shade range, I definitely think this would probably be the best option of the 3. Don't get me wrong, I love this bPerfect Carnival palette, but I understand not everybody has $56 to spend on an eyeshadow palette. So I think spending in the neighborhood of $30 might be a better option. You do get 30 shades, and they are all really easy to work with. This palette also contains pressed glitters like the Profusion palette, but you only get 3 in here. Now, going back to the Marigold palette, I do enjoy the color story. I don't enjoy the 5 pressed glitters. I think 3, like the ColourPop, would have been enough. I would have liked to have seen a black matte, or even like a really dark brown matte, or instead of this shimmer shade being a shimmer, if it was matte, I think that would have worked better for me. But I feel like this palette needed at least 2 deeper matte shades to really deepen up that outer corner. I definitely like the tones in this palette. I think this palette can be very versatile, can be a nice transition from summer to fall, and then from fall, winter into spring. But what I don't like is that the blend isn't consistent with all the shades, and you saw that with some of the greens over here. After I had applied the glitter to this eye, I don't know if you can kind of see, I lost a little bit of the blend there, so I kind of tried to blend it out again, and I don't know. To me, these matte shades could have been a little bit better. The shimmers are fine. The pressed glitters are actually really nice, but definitely use the glitter glue with the pressed glitters. I didn't really experience any fallout with these shades. There is kick up in the pan, but I do like the color story. I think the color story is really pretty. For 13 bucks, I mean, it's good. It's good for $13. Is it great? No. I do think that there are other drugstore palettes that will give you a better blend and just a little bit more pigmentation. So guys, it's a cute palette, and if you're a fan of Profusion, then this is something that you might want to pick up. You might want to add to your stash for fall of 2021. So let me know what you think. What did you think of these 3 fall palettes? Because this has been my last 3 videos, all 3 fall eyeshadow palettes, and I've done 3 or more looks already with each palette. So now I want to hear from you. Let me know what you thought of this Marigold palette. What did you think of the looks I created? What did you think of the blend that I got? What do you think of Profusion as a brand? Do you like buying from them? Do you skip them? Leave it in the comments down below. And I'd also love to hear your thoughts on the other 2 fall palettes that I've created looks with, the It's a Mood and the Antidote palette. What do you think of the 3? How would you rank these 3 palettes? I think if I had to rank them, considering, you know, price point, quality, shade range, all of that stuff, the Antidote palette is my favorite of the 3, but because I'm taking price into consideration, I would put It's a Mood by ColourPop first. Then I'd go with the bPerfect Antidote palette, and then I'd go with the Marigold palette. Once again, I think the Marigold palette is just a palette that's good for the price and not necessarily good overall. That's just my take on it, guys, but you leave me your thoughts in the comments down below. I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos. You all have a great day or night wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, guys. Drink that water, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.